I call to order the Coatesville Area School Board meeting scheduled for March 25th, 2025. The mission of the Coatesville Area School District, rich in diversity and committed to excellence, is to create innovative educational experiences which are funded by the taxpayers, supported by the community, delivered by dedicated teachers and administrators to ensure all students will become responsible, contributing global citizens. Madam Secretary, please call for the roll.
Leon Yacco.
Here.
Steve Wilson.
Here.
Holly Charest.
Here.
Shauna Maxwell.
Here.
Liz Muirhead.
Here.
Donna Rowland.
She's excused.
Robin Seagreaves.
Here.
Beth Brindle.
Here.
Elgin Bailey.
Here.
Emma Shrivert.
Here. At this moment, I would like to ask everyone to stand for a moment of silence and a salute to the flag. To my colleagues, are there any additions, deletions, or modifications to this evening's agenda? Seeing none, we'll go to public comment. The board has requested all persons making comments on agenda items to please list their name. Oh, there isn't any? Great. Moving on to the special report. East Fallowfield.
Community members, am I good? Can you hear me? Okay, I am loud without this thing, so. I'd like to welcome East Fallowfield's PBIS team here tonight to present to you. It's been 2 years since we presented to you last, and we have a lot of exciting things this evening to share with you. Before we get started, I want to introduce our PBIS team. Ms. Sheila Norton, first grade teacher. Gina Curry, our restorative practice coach. Caitlin Walls, a learning support teacher at our school. Miss April Mullen, who is our all the things music. So she's our music teacher and orchestra and choral director. Not with us this evening is Nicole Buckwash, who is a third grade teacher, and Joanne Billman, who is our STEM teacher and also our PBIS lead. Unfortunately, since the rain came yesterday, her kids had baseball today. It got rescheduled, so she was unable to make it this evening. But at this time, I am going to turn the presentation over to Miss April Mullen.
Good evening. So at East Fallowfield, we use our acronym SOAR. And when we are soaring at East Fallowfield, we are showing safety, ownership, acceptance, and respect. And we use, And we use these keywords to form our matrix and help form our expectations across environments. So what does it look like to be safe in the hallway, safe in the classroom, safe on the bus, all the things, and so on. As our reward system at East Fallowfield, we use Class Dojo school-wide. Instead of handing out paper tickets, the students can earn dojo points for safety, ownership, acceptance, respect. They can earn points at bus and parent pickup or in the cafeteria as well. Having it school-wide, all the teachers have access to classes and all the teachers have access to give students points electronically. Some teachers have chosen to make some of the kids responsible for helping give points for their classmates as well. So with their iPads now, you'll see some students walking in the hallway and rewarding their classmates with points for being respectful or things like that. And we think that's a great use of our Class Dojo. We love the parent communication that comes along with Class Dojo as well. I forgot to look, but I think we have, about 85 to about 85% of our parents connected in Class Dojo as well. So we can share things on School Story, on Class Stories. We can message parents. Parents can then see what their children are earning points for throughout the day. So sometimes those paper tickets, parents might not have any idea what their child has earned, if they've earned any, what they've earned them for. But within Class Dojo, parents can sign on and they can see, oh, my child earned 3 ownership points today, my child earned a respect point, things like that throughout the day and throughout whenever they go to check. So we love that aspect, that it brings that parents into what we're doing with our PBIS.
One of the things that we've been doing school-wide is incorporating monthly themes. Some of these are reviews and things like that. So we would do in, for example, August and September, and again in January, we'll do our review of all of our expectations. But as you can see, month by month, we have different themes, and our bulletin boards often will coincide with those. The bulletin boards are school-wide. This one, for example, is our gratitude board. So in November, when we talked about gratitude, we made sure that all staff and all students were represented to tell us what they feel gratitude is. In addition to that, in all of the classes, we review these themes via different types of lessons. Some lessons that the teachers do, some that are provided. Every month there's a different folder in the copy room, so sort of grab and go lessons and activities can be taken. Something might just be for fun, something might be for morning work, extra coloring sheets, things of that sort to really keep the themes going all month long.
So teachers started the school year with lessons already prepared for them in each of these areas. They had lessons for the classroom, the cafeteria, the bathroom, the hallway, the playground, and the buses. We had a schedule so that everybody in the building was working on the same lesson and the same expectation in the same area at the same day. The students were also given passports. So as they traveled through the day and through the different areas, their passports were stamped, which give them a little bit more accountability on their behaviors. So when we started off, the kickoff for PBIS at the beginning of this school year, the students were asked and surveyed what kind of rewards would be interested in so that they were more involved and they should show more ownership towards it. We have our mascot, Sky the Eagle. She visited each classroom, and that created a lot of interest, a lot of excitement toward the program, and the kids were very eager to soar and earn their dojo points. The teachers and the PBIS team reviewed all the prizes in our carts and experience that were involved, all the experience available to them, and the students were very eager to start earning them.
So since the last time we were here, there's been a lot of exciting updates to share. We're going to get a little bit deeper into those in just a second. So in our third year of PBIS, we have updated our student shopping experience to include more experiences for students instead of just tangible items. When we first started, it was just a store that they could buy little toys and items. And so we're trying to expand that to incorporate more experiences for them. We've created school-wide PBIS events, like our Turkey Trot event that we do every November, and we are planning an upcoming carnival this May for students to spend their PBIS points at the carnival. We're trying to bring in more community partners to celebrate our student success. We created cafeteria and Eagle Eye tickets and raffles to encourage positive behaviors in both of those areas. Because if you've ever worked in an elementary school, you know that the cafeteria and the bus can be a little challenging at times. So it's an extra incentive, and then we give out weekly raffles. We'll talk a little bit more about that in just a second. And the last thing that's different from the last time we were here was the creation of Bus Camp. So Bus Camp is a program that we're running, and again, Ms. Curry will talk about that in a little more depth in just a second, but it's to address behavioral concerns on the bus for students with multiple behavioral referrals.
So as Melissa said, the cafeteria and the bus continue to be our most challenging areas at East Fallowfield, and I think every elementary school I have ever known. So in the beginning of the year, every driver receives a PBIS folder, and our Eagle Eye tickets. So the folder lets them know that their job is so important to us, and we thank them for it, and throughout the year, we will also do little things, little notes from the kids or from the staff, reminding them how important they are to us. But also, by giving them the Eagle Eye tickets, we're bringing them into our PBIS community, and when the students have a great ride, they get Eagle Eye tickets, which then come into the school, and then at the end of every week, there's a raffle for some little prizes for kids that have earned Eagle Eye tickets on the bus. We added the, I'm touching buttons when I shouldn't be touching buttons, sorry. The cafeteria was a challenge that we weren't really sure what to do with last year, so this year we added Eagle Eye tickets to that. So anybody who's working in the cafeteria, whether it's our usual cafeteria monitor or any of us that happen to pop in to fill in, to sub, or just stop in to visit, we give Eagle Eye tickets to kids that we see meeting the expectations, doing what they know is the right choice. Those then get pulled into a separate raffle from the bus, and those are picked at the end of the week as well, and students are excited usually to be able to purchase a snack or an ice cream on Fridays. So they get really excited about those. And although we have our Eagle Eye tickets for the bus, we were still noticing it as an area of need. So this year we started bus camp. At the first bus referral, students will come to me and we'll chat. What's going on? What's happening? Sometimes there's more to the story than was able to be discussed with the driver on the bus. We'll deal with that. Once there's a second referral, however, then we start bus camp. And at bus camp, we're going to sit down. I'm the restorative practices coach, so we're going to talk about what we can do to fix what's going on, what challenges our students are encountering on the bus, and how we can make it better. We review the SOAR expectations, bus safety. In addition, occasionally we have entire buses that need a little extra booster above and beyond just an individual student, and we have occasionally pulled an entire bus in for just spot-on bus camp. We'll sit everybody down in their assigned seats, we'll practice sitting safely, we'll review all the expectations, and then we walk out to the bus and discuss it with the driver, what we're gonna do better. Sometimes simply greeting the driver every day makes a big difference, and our students get to be part of fixing that and helping to improve the bus ride home. We have noticed since starting it a huge decrease in our bus referrals.
Okay, so we've been talking a lot about all of the points and that the students can earn throughout the year, and this is the exciting part where kids get to cash in their points for experiences and tangibles. And like we mentioned before, that we are trying to get away from just having tangible things and making more experiences for the kids. So the next few slides are going over some of the really awesome experiences that the kiddos get to choose from. So a very popular one is extra recess time. So this is a time in addition to regular recess where the kiddos get to go out and have extra time in the fresh air. Usually the student who earned the points can pick a few friends to come with, and they get to have extra recess. Private lunch is also another favorite where the kiddos get to come together and have lunch in one of their teachers' classrooms. So they get to get out of the cafeteria and have a special time to have lunch. Dance party with Sky the Eagle. This was really, I saw this happen firsthand, and the kindergartners just absolutely loved it when they did this. But Sky, our mascot, will go into the classroom and do a dance party. Principal for a Day, where our students get to basically be Mrs. Willis's helper for the day, and they absolutely love it. They get to use the walkie-talkies, and they get to really be a mini principal for the day. So that's one that a lot of the kids like to earn. New this year, we partnered with the local police department and fire department, and we actually had a police car and fire truck come out to East Fallowfield, where students got to ride in the police car and the fire truck and see all the different things and all the different devices that they have. And this was also really, really neat to witness. The kids really, really enjoyed this. This was really cool. And then there's the fire truck as well. And to see kindergartners really we had 5th graders this year that were really into it as well, and it was really cool. Classroom pool party where they can bring in floaties and watch a movie and have popcorn and have fun activities. And then in addition to these individual events that students can choose with their points, we also have school-wide events. I think a few were mentioned earlier, so we have the school-wide turkey trot in November. And then we also had the Cash dance team come out and put on performances for the school, which was really, really neat for the kids to be able to see and be able to experience something that they can one day do as well. And then, as Mrs. Willis mentioned, but also we're going to be doing a carnival this year. So at the end of the year, kids can cash in their extra dojo points. Instead of having them carry over or just go to waste, they can cash in their points for prizes and things at the carnival.
So with PBIS and buy-in, of course, we need to make sure that our teachers are participating. So a lot of the work that we did this summer was trying to come up with ways in partnership with our Belonging Through Dignity team and our PBIS team, ways that we could get the teachers having fun and getting involved. So at East Fallowfield, if you didn't already know, now you know, we love a dress-up day. So we've been doing secret spirit days, and the children walk in the front door and look at all of their teachers and their principal like, "Ooh, they've lost their minds today." So we had a ninja day. We just had a country versus country club day last week, but I think our favorite of this year was halfway day. So in the spirit of Bon Jovi, we were halfway there, and so we dressed as like 80s rockers. And I do believe that Miss Aubrey Stevens shared a video of us all singing on YouTube, so we're a little famous. But this is just some fun, and sometimes it's, you know, what we do is hard work, and just having time to just rejuvenate your spirit and just have fun together is always great. The other thing we wanted to promote was positivity and wellness. So last year we started Wellness Wednesdays at East Fallowfield, not every Wednesday, but 2 Wednesdays a month, where we offer different self-care activities. So we've done yoga. This year we did Tai Chi. We have done painting classes, a calligraphy class, and a walking club. So one thing that we realized was that Wednesdays don't work for everybody, and we weren't intentionally discriminating, but by doing it Wednesdays after school, if your kids have dance or soccer, you might not be able to make it. So this year we've been trying to do walking club some mornings, some afternoons, not always on Wednesday, and doing like staff breakfasts when we can. So, enough about the adults. We are really excited this evening to recognize 4 students, and this is 4 students out of the entire school. So what my little loves don't realize is that you were nominated by all of your teachers. This was everyone in the building, not just your classroom teachers, not just your principal, but for exemplifying what it means to soar, and we are just so proud of you. They're nervous, so make sure that you're clapping for them when we call their names. I told them they didn't have to give a speech. So first up, we have 4th grade student, Miss Audrina Gregg. Come on up, love. Excellent. All right, next up we have Mr. Luis Martinez Arizmendi. There you go, my love. Sorry. We'll get a picture at the end. Miss Aubrey Lavender. Doesn't hand that up. There you go, my love. So proud of you. And last but certainly not least, and my first principal for the day last year, Mr. John Woodward. There you go, my love. So proud of you. Let's give them all a big round of applause. That brings us to the end of our presentation, but before we close out, I just wanted to give a special thank you to the Modena Fire Company, East Fallowfield Township Police, our Coatesville Area School District Police, the Cash Dance Team, our high school honor society, who often come and volunteer for our school-wide events, our amazing East Fallowfield PTO, and certainly the work of our PBIS team, because as you can see, we've done a lot of wonderful work, but it's because of these people giving their time and their dedication to this effort that we feel so passionately about. So thank you very much for having us this evening. All right, you guys ready for that? We'll go grab a picture, unless you guys have any questions for me.
I just wanted to say, everything that I hear coming in from East Fallowfield is always so positive. You've built such a great culture within your team. You guys, it's something to be astounded by, honestly. Like, you guys need to be someone we all take a look at and kind of model after, because you're doing things right. You all respect one another. You count on each other. You're a team, and so and that ultimately affects the students. So thank you, and I bet you can't wait to be in the new building.
Oh, girl, you have no idea.
Good job.
But thank you
guys.
so much.
And
That's quite a compliment.
congratulations, kids. You did awesome.
Thank you.
Right, all right. On to the next one. Approval of the minutes. Recommended action that the Board of School Directors approve both minutes from February 25th, 2025 board meeting, as well as the minutes from the special board meeting on March 11th, subject to any additions, deletions, or modifications or clarifications. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Any questions, comments, or discussion? Madam Secretary, please call for the vote.
Beth Brindle,
Yes.
Liz Muirhead,
Yes.
Elgin Bailey,
Yes.
Robin Seagreaves,
Yes.
Shauna Maxwell,
Yes.
Holly Charess,
Yes.
Steve Wilson,
Yes.
Leon Yako.
Yes.
Motion approved.
All right, executive session, Mr. Barbieri.
Thank you. The board met in executive session on March 10th, March 18th, and March 24th to discuss items, or the following items, rather. Confidential student matters, confidential personnel matters, matters of legal advice that are protected by the attorney-client privilege, and that concludes the executive session report this evening.
Thank you. Next up, student representative report.
Good evening, Board of School Directors. Firstly, I would like to say a huge thank you to our Cash Black Student Union for the dedication, time, and organization that they provided to arrange for the Cash Cares Closet to open as a resource for any of our students who may be in need of any hygiene items, school supplies, snack, and/or clothing. As the closet begins to provide students with this opportunity, we will be sure to share the process of making requests and how and where to pick items up in a discreet manner for students to use as needed. We opened yesterday and cannot be more excited to have students utilizing this resource. On March 19th, Coatesville Senior High School administered the SAT for current juniors of Cash for no cost, providing many kids the opportunity to take this test that can help increase chances of college acceptance for those who may not be able to take the test outside of school. The Pennsylvania Music Educators Association holds festivals throughout the school year for student musicians to showcase their talents at the district, region, state, eastern, and national levels. Festivals are held throughout the state for orchestra, band, chorus, jazz, a cappella, and ensemble. In November, 4 vocal students from Cash auditioned for placement in the PMEA District 12, Chester, Delaware, and Philadelphia counties district course. Two students, Catherine O'Neill, 11th grade, and Hayden Katzer, 12th grade, earned scores that qualified them to participate in the PMEA District 12 Chorus Festival, which was held February 7th and February 8th at Ridley High School. While there, Catherine and Hayden competed once again to gain placement in the PMEA Region 5 Choral Festival, Region 6 Choral Festival. Region 6 combines District 12 with District 11 Montgomery-Bucks counties. Hayden's overall vocal score qualified him to participate in the region level. This year's Region 6 festival was hosted by Garnet Valley High School at March 13th and 15th, with the culminating concert on 15th at 11 a.m. Great job, Catherine, and congratulations, Hayden. The Cash PBIS team is excited about our current PBIS initiative that is aimed at improving student attendance. Students who attend school 90% of the time or more from 3:17 through 3:28 will be invited to a dessert party on 4/14, period 7 or 8. Students need to be in school 9 of the 10 days to qualify. Our PBIS student team is working on ways to promote this event and encourage students to be eligible. Next, Pi Day. Students in Miss Pearson's class celebrated Pi Day 3.14 last 2 Fridays ago by doing the Pi Day Challenge. The challenge consisted of the following 7 stations. 1, a Pi Day puzzle. 2, measuring pi. 3, memorizing pi. 4, pi chain. 5, Pi Day card. 6, find your birthday in pi. 7, Pi Day caroling. Miss Eaton, another math teacher, even used her baking skills to bake a pie for our office staff to remind everyone that Friday was Pi Day. Students in our family and consumer science classes and our yearbook students had the opportunity to visit the Philadelphia Flower Show 2 weeks ago. A special thank you to our Cash faculty/staff members, Miss Harvey, Mr. Haight, Miss Legree, Miss Parker, and Miss Ryan for chaperoning the trip so that the majority of the students were able to experience the show for their first time. The PHS Philadelphia Flower Show is the nation's largest and longest-running horticultural event and fundraiser featuring stunning displays by the world's premier floral, garden, and landscape designers. The Cash Interact Club spent time together making meals to be distributed to some less fortunate families in our school district. The meals were recently delivered on a Friday afternoon to provide dinners to families for the entire weekend. Thank you to Interact Club advisor Mr. Eckert and all the Interact students who participated to make a few of our Coatesville families' weekends a little better with some home-cooked meals. I would finally like to congratulate our varsity basketball team for making it all the way to the state quarterfinal this year. And another special congratulations to Sarah McGann for breaking both the 200 freestyle and 500 freestyle women's swimming records last weekend at states, placing 9th in both events and swimming a 152.06 in 200 free and 500.16 in 500 free, which both records have not been broken since 2006. Thank you, and have a good night.
Thank you. Next up is our superintendent report, Dr. Robarczyk.
Okay, so Emma's crossed a lot of things off my list, which I'm happy about. That we need to collaborate on this next month, Emma, for sure. So the first thing I have to celebrate is at East Fallowfield. I'm sorry, they're not here to see it. We had, can you make it go, Mr. Patel? Thank you. Our mystery readers. And this is for Read Across America. We had a number of community volunteers come out throughout East Fallowfield area and throughout the district to come over and read to the classes over at East Fallowfield. The next one is the Mr. Coatesville, which this was a contest for our folks over at the high school where they participate in 4 different events: Best Dressed, Who Knows the Better, the blindfold hoopin', And there was a little Tykes basketball net. I saw some pictures of it. It was very funny. And the question from the heart. And so this is a prom fundraiser. And I think we had, who was first place? Xavier Neves. And then we had, Elijah, I'm going to say Ogamar, and Mattis Klauser. Matisse for third place. So the congratulations to the three of them on Mr. Coatesville. The next one, we have some of our special present performances that are going on across the district. Already had them or are upcoming. We had The Little Mermaid at North Brandywine. So there's, you see some pictures there of their performance, which they did an outstanding job. I'm always amazed by the performances every school you go to. We really do have some talented actors and actresses across the district here. And then the next one was Beetlejuice Jr. at the Cache, which was a lot of fun and very funny. I was laughing with a lot of the kids who came from the other schools. They actually got the humor of it. So it was neat to hear them laugh at the certain parts of it. And then we have the upcoming at the end of this week at Scott Middle School, High School Musical Junior, which, believe it or not, High School Musical is now over 20 years old, so it just dates me and some of the other participants in the audience here, but it's quite a fun show to watch. So if you get the chance, stop by on Thursday and Friday at Scott Middle School. The next slide, we have the Alliance for Health Equity held a March Madness party last Friday, and during that time, they were able to recognize the boys basketball team for their accomplishments for the quarterfinals and the state championships. They did an amazing job. We have a lot of athletes that we're going to be recognizing next month, from wrestling, swimming, basketball, you name it. All our winter sports are going to be coming, and they're not all out yet, no, but some of them are. And then we're also going to be acknowledging the robotics club next month as well. So a lot of recognitions. Then we had, as Emma mentioned, the Cash Cares Closet. That was the grand opening yesterday. It was a great event. We had a lot of people just come out to see what it's all about. And as Emma described, it's a great opportunity for students to be able to go in and anonymously just put their name in to gather items that they may need to meet their needs. The next slide shows Benergy at Reeseville. Benergy is this gentleman, I actually have known him for about 6 years now. He started the Autistic Foundation down at the Lincoln Financial Field, and the room, I forget what they call it, the sensory room, down at Lincoln Financial Field is sponsored by Benergy through Ben. And so Reeseville had him out here. He talks about his challenges that he's had through life growing up, and just the accomplishments that he's made. And it's really just a great story to hear about him. They did a fundraiser in honor of him, and they've raised over almost $2,000 for the Autism Foundation Awareness Group. And then construction updates. Doe Run Elementary is actually no longer just dirt. They're actually digging and getting ready to set the footers. They're doing a lot of rebarb work and getting ready that hopefully concrete trucks will be there, correct me, Lori, I think next week or the week following, once we get the building permits in hand. Next week. North Brandywine, if you had the opportunity, I love that top picture. If you've had the chance to drive by, the steel is going up. There's 2 floors now. There's actually a basement, and the roof is going on. So a lot of construction going on at North Brandywine Middle School for the annex part that's being constructed at this point. And then, as we know, in 2 years from now, we'll have the whole new school connected to that annex. And then the next one is Reeseville. Reeseville's really moving. They have walls up. They have rebarb laid down. They have plumbing that's going in underground. So a lot of movement taking place over at Reeseville for their addition. And Mr. Brazil and I have the opportunity to go over and look at some brick tomorrow to see which brick is going to match up the best to the walls to match the rest of the school. And that is everything. So thank you. Just 2 important notes. On April 8th, we will hold our next committee meetings here in the Learning Center. And then April 22nd will be our regular school board meeting at 6 p.m.
Thank you. I just want to add that I know we had a few hiccups in the fall and some, changing in leadership, and I just want to thank you and Lori for not skipping a beat here and keeping the construction on target and going, because it's a huge job that I don't think people understand how many meetings you're in and what has to happen for this to keep going. So we appreciate you and again, like that you didn't skip a beat at all, so.
Thank you. I want to extend that to Mr. Brazil as well, for sure.
Yes.
Because
Yes, I'm sorry.
out there day in, day out,
Yes.
looking, at these
Yes.
different sites and
Huge.
and it's really
And your
is
whole team,
I'm
your
gonna
whole
say it's
team,
really
yeah.
a team effort that everyone's come
Absolutely.
together.
Yes.
So we're really laying the foundation for creating some great facilities for our students.
Right, yes. I'll echo that. Sorry, I missed you in the first time, but you know what I mean. Anyway, all right. Great presentation. Stop it, Elgin. Okay, motions. We're gonna go to motion items for approval. And yeah. Okay, yes, that's right. No, adoption of consent. That's what I meant. I apologize. All right. Committee meeting action items considered routine will be enacted under one motion unless removed for separate action upon board request. The purpose of the consolidated motion is to expedite governing board action on all consent items, which are not held for discussion. Items that have been held for discussion by the governing board will be enacted upon at the time the item is discussed. So I'm going to pull the same things for finance, letter A and I, as usual. And then under operations are the ones that didn't go through committee, which are P, Q, R, and S. Yes. All right. Is there anything for education? And there was nothing for policy. I just want to double check. You're good? Awesome. Thanks. All right. To my colleagues, anything else? Okay. With items now being removed from the consent agenda for individual vote, I now call for a motion.
Motion.
Second.
Any questions, comments, or discussion? Madam Secretary, please call for the vote.
Shauna Maxwell.
Yes.
Lear Nyako.
Yes.
Steve Wilson.
Yes.
Robin Seagreaves.
Yes.
Elgin Bailey.
Yes.
Beth Brindle.
Yes.
Liz Muirhead.
Yes.
Holly Charest.
Yes.
Motion approved.
All right, moving into the Finance Committee items. The first item is letter A, financial statements, that the Board of School Directors approve the financial statements and bills payable list as presented. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Second. Any questions or comments on this item? Okay, Madam Secretary, please call the vote.
Holly Charest.
Yes.
Robin Seagreaves.
Yes.
Elgin Bailey.
Yes.
Liz Muirhead.
Yes.
Steve Wilson.
Yes.
Lear Nyako.
Yes.
Shauna Maxwell.
Yes.
Beth Brindle.
Yes.
Motion approved.
Okay, thank you. We move on to letter I, which is the Human Resources Report. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we approve the Human Resources Report. Often I do this without comment, but we're starting to get to that time of the year where we have retirements showing up on this list. And I wanted to call out a few that I know are very long-time employees, and I certainly would invite any of my colleagues or the administration to add any thoughts here. But on the list is Dr. Eugenia Roberts, who's currently the principal at North Brandywine. She has been with the district for more than 20 years, and she's served in so many different roles. It's actually hard to quantify them all. So it's just an incredible career that she has had here, and we're going to miss her a whole heck of a lot, but wish her very well in her retirement. There's a little thing going around North Brandywine because the next person is Tom Nichols, who is a PE and health teacher at North Brandywine, also someone who spent more than 20 years in the district, really contributed in a lot of different ways, and so he will certainly be missed. And not to be outdone, Karen Smith, who I think is a Coatesville grad?
Yes.
Yes. and has been in the district for 35 years. Yeah. So quite the impact. She is currently a math specialist, math teacher, but she has done so many things over the years. She's been on our building committees. She's helped lead curriculum committees. I'm sure there's a million things that she did before I even knew which end was up and which end was down. So a lot of really wonderful people with incredible experience that are retiring. And then I also saw on the special education aid side that Cassandra Holmes is also retiring. And of course, she's somebody who's had a lot of impact on many of our students. So for wonderful people, I just really want to wish them well. And anybody that has anything else to say, please feel free.
Yeah, I was, again, I'm sad that we're losing them. Karen Haney Smith was my 6th grade teacher her first year, so it's kind of crazy to see her go. I was hoping she was going to give us a few more years, but that's okay. But all of them are very dedicated to this district, and it's gonna definitely be hard to see them go. But wish them well and hope they enjoy their retirement.
I do have to have a shout out to my mom. Miss Holmes took care of me when I pulled a muscle, ripped my calf in going to watch the Big 33 tournament. Had to drive my car to come get me. She is a wonderful person, and she's my mom, if you know her. And we're going to miss her very much.
All right. Well, I'm sure there will be plenty of time to say more words of thank you and congratulations to these 4 wonderful educators. But I couldn't let this moment pass without recognizing them. If there are no other comments, I will call for the vote.
Elgin Bailey,
Yes.
Steve Wilson,
Yes.
Liz Muirhead,
Yes.
Shauna Maxwell,
Yes.
Holly Charest,
Yes.
Robin Seagreaves,
Yes.
Beth Brindle,
Yes.
Leon Yako.
Yes.
Motion approved.
That concludes the Finance Committee portion of the agenda.
I don't know if I need this thing or not, but.
You do,
do.
for the people
Oh,
on,
okay.
for the people online.
People online, I'll project. Thank you, Liz. All right, beginning the Operations Committee, we have a couple of things that we're going to kind of put together. It's going to be, I can do that, right? Okay, good. P and Q and then R and S are going to be put together. I'll read P for you. That the Board of School Directors approve the proposal from Educational Furniture Solutions, LLC, to provide new furniture to Reeseville Elementary at a cost of $78,568.48 as presented. Can I call for a motion?
Motion.
Motion. Do we have to read both the agenda items into the?
Do I need to read both?
Okay.
Good.
I just need a second.
Second.
Okay, before I ask the secretary to call for a vote, Tony, would you mind sharing a little bit about these 2 items for me, my friend,
Sure,
please?
not at all. So as you saw in the superintendent's report and you're hearing and seeing all around the district, there's a lot of building going on, so we need furniture to put in those buildings. And so these are the 2 bids that came through for the Reeseville Elementary and North Brandywine Middle School in order to outfit them with the necessary furniture they're going to need as part of their additions when they open in August. So the Reeseville Elementary furniture, again, coming in at $78,568.48. Myself, Lori, Melissa was here earlier, and who else was with us? Was it the 3 of us?
Yes.
We had the opportunity to go to the outfitter and actually look at the furniture and get an idea of what it's going to look like, how it's going to fit in the room, and we're very confident that this provider, EFS, is going to meet our needs in regards to outfitting that room at Reeseville. And then the North Brandywine furniture, which I'm really excited about because we are sitting there and I'm looking for something that's really going to define for our students, like be versatile and meet all their needs. So there was this chair sitting there and it had this desk that you lift up, like the old kind of student arm ones. But it's neat because it flips all the way over, so if you're left-handed, So you won't have to worry about turning all the way over and everything. And they're big, giant, empty trays underneath that their book bags can fit under.
Oh, that's dope.
Because if you ever gone to North Brandywine or Scott, and you walk into a classroom, you're more than guaranteed to trip over a bag. So this will be nice to be able to store it and everything. So what we did with North Brandywine, and I give the credit to Lori on this, was we were trying to think how to make this work because there's going to be a bigger brand new building that opens in 2 years later and really want to make it all the same. So the idea was to purchase this furniture, make it versatile, and then in 2 years outfit the entire school again, but be able to use this furniture over at Scott Middle School. So because they're going to be expanding and they're going to need some new furniture as well. So it'll be nice to be able to accommodate those two needs. So that's where we are.
Appreciate it. Any other questions, comments, or discussion? Madam Secretary, please call for a vote.
Steve Wilson,
Yes.
Shauna Maxwell,
Yes.
Lear Nyako,
Yes.
Elgin Bailey,
Yes.
Beth Brindle,
Yes.
Holly Charess,
Yes.
Robin Seagreaves,
Yes.
Liz Muirhead,
Yes.
motion approved.
Outstanding. We're going to be doing the same thing with agenda items R and S. We'll also be bundling those. Can I get a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Outstanding. I'm just going to read a little bit of the one, and then I'm going to ask Tony to kind of shed a little light on this also. That the Board of School Directors approve the proposal from CM Chrisman, Inc. to investigate the septic system to determine if septic system can temporarily be repaired until new septic system is designed and installed at Kings Highway Elementary at a total cost of $3,455 as presented. Tony, would you mind?
I'm actually going to bring up Mr. Brazil on this because he's more of the expert on the septic system
My
over
man.
there and what's going on with them. I've heard the story, but he's been right in the midst of it.
I've been in the hole.
Literally.
In the septic system.
So we kind of thought there was an issue with the current septic system, how it is operating. So the initial invoice there was to dig it up, look at it, see where the issue was. And I believe it was Monday, they excavated down about 8.5 feet, found the tank. We did find the 2 lines that were damaged. They submitted the second invoice. First of all, they had to pump the tank, which was the only way they could work on it. So they did add a riser and repaired it temporarily so that we can get through to the next phase and get our permits in line to add and install a new septic for the new addition. So this was just a step moving forward with the addition to that, renovation and addition to that building.
Outstanding. Thank you, sir. Any other questions or comments? Can I call for a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Outstanding. Madam Secretary, please call for a vote.
Liz Muirhead,
Yes.
Shauna Maxwell,
Yes.
Robin Seagreaves,
Yes.
Elgin Bailey,
Yes.
Beth Brindle,
Yes.
Lear Nyako,
Yes.
Holly Charess,
Yes.
Steve Wilson,
Yes.
motion approved.
That concludes Operation Committee.
Thank you. We have clear, okay, awesome. Time for public comment. The board has requested all persons making comment of public concern list their name, address, telephone number, and topics on the sheet provided. There's a 3-minute time limit per person. First, Debbie Willett.
Good evening. My name is Deb Willett, and I've been a parent in the district for 20 years. I currently have a junior and a first grader enrolled. My first grader has significant mental health challenges due to trauma before his adoption. He receives outpatient therapy, medication management, and intensive behavioral health services, which includes behavioral health technician at home, school, and in the community. He's been approved for 130 hours a month for this service. At his most recent IEP meeting on March 17th, I was told his behavioral technician could not interact with him in school, and instead the district would provide a one-on-one aid. However, his March 2024 IEP already required a one-on-one, yet it was never implemented. In October, while still out of compliance with his IEP for the one-on-one, my son eloped from the building, putting his safety at risk. When I raised concerns and kept him home, until the proper support was in place. A one-on-one was assigned in 3 days. Since October, my son has had 3 one-on-one aides, none providing stability. Most concerning, the latest aide was overheard calling my 7-year-old an inappropriate name and harshly criticizing him. Despite this, this individual remains employed and working with children. I was shocked to learn that the district prohibits BHTs from supporting students in the school. IBH services, formerly known as wraparound services, has long been a critical support for students with behavioral issues. I recently toured an improved private school that I believe would meet the needs of my son. I was told most of the students at this approved private school are from Coatesville Area School District. This raises an important question. Why does Coatesville Area School District deny students access to a service that is free to the district and could keep the children in the least restrictive environment, while instead spending $79,000 per year per student plus transportation for private placements? While the district's partnership with Care Solace is a great resource for families, how does it benefit students if doctor-recommended services are not permitted in the school buildings? Given the mental health crisis among students and the district's financial struggles, I strongly urge Coatesville Area School District to reconsider allowing this very important service in the schools. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Ms. Bullets, I will touch base with you after the meeting, too.
Thank you. Next up, Ms. Lori Shannon Bailey.
Good evening. I'm working with a family that had difficult experience with Care Solace. 2 weeks ago, we spent about an hour on the phone doing an intake. And the intake was, it went well. And this is a family who could not have done the intake on her own. We had a meeting. Tony, thank you for being at that meeting. So Care Solace contacted the parent. Parent didn't answer the phone. That wasted 1 week. And then another week went by, and so we thought we would see if the son could take the call because he's of age. He didn't answer the phone because he didn't recognize the number. And then so I decided I would help the mom. So that's when we spent 2 hours on the phone last week. So then we got 2 mental health providers, and one was voted best of Montgomery County for 2024, which I always try to go after any of those organizations because they vote, people vote for those organizations and they tend to be pretty good. Lo and behold, families have to go in person 3 days a week. And so my concern is how in the world would Care Solace make that recommendation when we said to Care Solace we need virtual appointments because the family doesn't have transportation and they certainly can't get to Montgomery County. So we've wasted about a month trying to get this family mental health services, and this is a crisis situation which includes trauma. So it would be good if you all took a look at some of the logistics with Care Solace. I think we paid about $50,000 for this contract. So it's a problem for families who are not able to communicate and connect the dots because mom is not able to be on the phone with them and to communicate exactly what needs are, what goals need to be established. And I'm happy to support this family as well as any other families that I'm privileged to support. So just please take a look at Care Solace and the contract and the needs. Because it's probably going to take another month now before we get this family some mental health support. Thank you.
Thank you. Informational items. Holly, I think that you have a legislative update.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. Good evening. So I would like to present a legislative update. To start off, the Pennsylvania General Assembly. The Senate is still holding at 28 Republicans, 22 Democrats, and Kim Ward is still presiding over as the President pro tempore. In the House, we still have 101 Republicans and Democrats. Democrats, excuse me. Supposedly, there was listed a special election today, and that was to fill the vacancy for Representative Matt Gurgley out of Allegheny. To note that Senator Carolyn Committa will continue to serve on the Education Committee, so thank you for serving on that committee for us, Senator Committa. We had 16 bills that were introduced into legislation. I looked through the 16 and I wanted to share what I thought were of interest for our community. HB 17, House Bill 17 is a bill mandating cursive handwriting. It was bipartisan sponsored. They are mandating this because they feel that the benefits of cursive handwriting are lacking. Well, cursive handwriting is lacking, and the benefits outweigh the not so benefits. I can't cost. Thank you. Vocabulary issue tonight. They cite. They cite cognitive benefits and it supports developmental milestones, and it has practical applications because there are some forms that are still required to be filled out and signed. And then, of course, a lot of historical documents have cursive writing. So, and it's interesting to note that at least 24 states have laws on the books requiring cursive to be taught, but we are ahead of the game, Coatesville Area School District, because we are going to be bringing back cursive anyway. So, another thing, House Bill 74 is a bipartisan bill that was voluntary autism screening. This bill will require the Pennsylvania Department of Human Services to provide state licensed child care providers with an autism screening tool. And information on resources. The providers may present the information to a parent and assist with the use of the tool upon request. Now, it's important to note that neither the child care provider nor the parent will be required to use the screening tool. The legislation just simply ensures that the information will be available. House Bill 93 is to add some holiday observances, and that's to make the holidays of Rosh Hashanah, Eid al-Fitr, Yom Kippur, and Eid al-Adha, as official Commonwealth of Pennsylvania holidays. Two more, House Bill 190 is the Eating Disorder Awareness and Education, also bipartisan sponsored. It's creating an eating disorders task force within the Pennsylvania Department of Education, and requiring schools to provide parent education information regarding eating disorders to parents and guardians of students in grades 6 through 12 through multiple means, and that includes list of warning signs, risk factors, resources, and other information about that. And then the last bill of note is House Bill 727. This was sponsored by Representative Webster from Montgomery County, a bill to replace the Keystone exam with the American College testing, or the ACT test. It's requiring that the Pennsylvania Department of Education approve the ACT without the essay portion as the state standardized assessment for high school students, and subsequently cease the administration of the Keystone exam. The argument is that it will greatly improve student opportunity while saving taxpayers millions of dollars per year. The benefits would be replacing the Keystone exam with ACT. ACT is a quality nationally recognized exam. Continue to assess student achievement in accordance with federal law, and it is the approximate testing costs will be reduced by an estimated $5 million per year. And then the last thing to note regarding the budget for Pennsylvania, in the budget they have increased basic and special education funding. There's a $75 million increase in basic education, a $40 million increase for special education, and combining that with additional funding will bring the total funding to over $1.5 billion. Also in the budget is cyber charter reform, which is establishing a statewide base cyber tuition rate of $8,000 per student per year. And that's expected to save school districts approximately $378 million annually. There's also, for school safety and mental health support, $25 million increase for school repairs and infrastructure, $111 million for student mental health and school safety systems, and then $3 million to continue providing free menstrual hygiene products in schools. Also staying is the continuation of the universal free breakfast. It is noted that approximately 1.7 million Pennsylvania students benefit from universal free breakfast. And then there are funds set aside for early childhood and pre-K education investments. $55 million for child care worker retention, $10 million increase in early intervention provider rates, and $15 million increase for pre-K counts programs to stabilize the pre-K educator workforce. And that concludes my legislative report.
Thank you. Do we have any other reports?
I can do the CCIU update, although I was unable to attend, but I do have the board summary meeting minutes.
Great.
So the Chester County Intermediate Unit Board of Directors held its monthly meeting Wednesday, March 19th of 2025 at TCHS Pickering Campus in Phoenixville, Pennsylvania. The members that were there were Avon Grove, Downingtown, Kennett, O&J Roberts, Phoenixville, Tredyffrin, Easttown, Unionville, Chadsford, and Westchester. I was unfortunately unable to attend that meeting. Dr. Joe Fullerton, Director of Career Technical and Customized Education, introduced the principal of the TCHS Pickering and Julie Tanny, instructors of their animal science program. I know last time I talked that they did the HVAC presentation, and this was going over the animal science program. They presented highlights of the program, the structure, achievements of students, and it provides students with hands-on experience in animal care through co-ops, internships, and participation in the Future Farmers of America. 36% of the students engage in work-based learning, and 100% are FFA members, with many earning internships and earning leadership degrees. They recently launched its first-year participation in the PA apprenticeship program as well, allowing students to earn 6 college credits at Delaware Valley University. So it's just another highlight of another program that's available to students. They did also go over just some individual students came up and spoke. They weren't from Coatesville, but a couple Springford and an O&J student talked about their experiences. Dr. Libitsky went over a draft of the 25-26 marketplace budgets, which I believe they're coming here in April to present this directly to us, so I won't go all into the details, just some Act 1 statewide increase. They're going to stay a little below that, and districts are only billed for the services that they utilize. So he'll come and do a presentation next month. And then the board just acted on some finance, new and old business, approving a budget. They did some revisions of their calendar for preschool to add additional snow makeup days. Approved some marketplace services, and then the comprehensive plan was approved as well. The next meeting is Wednesday, April 16th at 7:30 at the high school Brandywine campus in Downingtown. And that concludes the report.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. To my colleagues, are there any other informational items you'd like to share?
I just wanted to ask, Lori, would you be able to just share what your timing is for when we'll begin to see information about the budget?
Yep, we will be presenting in April as well.
Wonderful. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anyone else? Oh, okay. Seeing none, do I have a motion for adjournment?
So moved. Second.
This meeting is adjourned.